All right, one more video screencast for this week. In lesson 6, we're talking key resources this time. So I want to take time and define those and point you again in the right direction of where you can get more information from the Udacity lectures and talk about the assignment expectations for this. So first, let's define it. And to help us define it, I'm going to use another Marvel movie. Sorry, I swear I have a life. I don't just sit and watch movies all day. I just like movies, and I think that anyway, I can relate with them. Key resources. First, what are they? They are the resources you need to run your business, right? And you need to be strategic about where you get the key resources and how you find them. And so, just for fun, I want to show you this one clip. If you remember from Guardians of the Galaxy, when those four were in the prison and they were trying to break out of the prison, and Rocket the raccoon sits and lists all of his key resources he needs to make his plan happen. So let me show you that clip.
If we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna need to get into that watchtower. And to do that, I'm gonna need a few things. The guards wear security bands to control their ins and outs. I need one.
Leave it to me.
That dude there. I need his prosthetic leg.
His leg?
Yeah.
All right.
And finally, on the wall back there is a black panel. Blinky yellow light. You see it?
Yeah?
There's a Quarnix battery behind it. Purplish box, green wires. To get into that watchtower, I definitely need it.
Remember, Star-Lord actually got the leg of that one guy, and I tried to find a clip of that, and I couldn't find it when Rocket's like, "You actually got his leg?" I love that part. Anyway, key resources. All right, so your Udacity lecture gives you 4 categories of key resources: physical, financial, human, and intellectual. I'm going to kind of bounce around them. I want to talk assignment expectations first, and I'll give you examples of them.
All right, here we are in the lesson assignment for week 6, Update BMC. I'm going to scroll down to the key resources section of the assignment. There are 4 key resources that we want you to identify for your business. 1 is physical, 2 is financial, 3 is human, 4 is intellectual. Now, the Udacity lectures talk about these, and so you can go back and refer to those if you need some more clarification. But really what I'm looking for is a depth of understanding of each of those 4, an explanation of what you anticipate for each of the 4. So for instance, your physical location. Where will your business be located? What's your storefront? What region of the city, of the state are you going to be doing business in? And why? Explain why. If it's a website, if it's an app, talk about how you're going to get people to your website, how you're going to get traffic there, okay? Financial, remember we're talking funding options, how to finance the startup costs. We know you're going to get seed money, research funding options in your area and explain it. Human resources, what kind of working culture do you want to create and how will you create it? And intellectual, what kind of intellectual considerations do you have? Intellectual property considerations do you have? That's it. Again, what I'm looking for is just a quality explanation, an in-depth explanation of why and how for each of those 4.
And just talk some quick examples. Example of physical resource. Where's your business going to be located? If you're a brick and mortar storefront, location is everything, right? An example, bad example, failed restaurants. Think about it. Do you know restaurants around town, around your town somewhere, that always seems that it's usually the one building that just seems to go through restaurants? Have you seen that? Where there's multiple restaurants in one building, maybe they last for a year. Restaurants have the worst record for entrepreneurships, or the best record, however you want to call it. They fail the most. So they have the best record for failing, or maybe that's the worst success record, whatever. Failed restaurants, location is key for restaurants, right? Funding, we talked about funding. I'll just give you a quick example. If in working with some venture capitalists, you've got to work on securing funding, and their time frame is usually about 5 years from when they give you money to the time they want their return on investment. And so you've got to have a plan on how you use that resource, that funding resource. And then as far as human resource, think of your own company that you work for right now if you're employed. What kind of culture do they have? How have they set it up? How have they engendered their culture? And do you feel like you're valued within that culture? And so that's just a good way to consider it. And what have they done that perhaps you could also do? following their pattern. So there's some examples, some assignment expectations, and things for key resources.